Imagine achieving more by the age of 30 than most people could in 10 entire lifetimes. Stadiums chanting your name, awards flooding your shelves, the world at your feet. What if I told you that even that wasn't the peak of Michael Jackson's story? Before his sudden and tragic death, Michael Jackson wasn't just another superstar. He was a force of nature, a musical genius who redefined pop culture, broke unimaginable records, and built a legacy so massive, it still echoes in every corner of the world today. Now, you might think you know the story of Michael Jackson, especially about Moonwalk or Thriller, but have you ever stopped to consider the full scale of what this man actually accomplished? How did one person, against all odds, turn himself into a living legend? And how many of these milestones do you actually know? Today, we're going to break it all down, achievement by achievement, milestone by milestone, revealing the most iconic things Michael Jackson did before he left this world. And trust me, by the end of this video, you won't just remember why he was called the King of Pop, you'll feel it. So, are you ready to rediscover Michael Jackson like never before? Stay with us. Michael Jackson's story didn't start on a world tour stage or at an award show podium. It started in a small house in Gary, Indiana, where a young boy with an extraordinary voice would soon shock the world. As the youngest member of the Jackson 5, Michael didn't just blend in, he commanded attention. At only 11 years old, he became the youngest artist in history to top the Billboard Hot 100. Imagine that, barely out of elementary school and already outperforming seasoned musicians. The Jackson 5's breakout hit, I Want You Back, wasn't just a success, it was a cultural reset, marking the arrival of a phenomenon. But Michael wasn't just another cute kid in a family band. He was the heartbeat of the Jackson 5. His voice, his dance moves, his magnetic presence, it all screamed greatness, long before anyone was ready for what was coming. Do you remember the first time you saw old footage of young Michael performing? The pure energy, the charisma pouring out of such a small frame, it was impossible to look away. And this wasn't just childhood luck. Even in those early years, Michael displayed a work ethic most adults couldn't match. He rehearsed relentlessly, sometimes to the point of exhaustion. While other kids his age were riding bikes and playing in the streets, Michael was perfecting every vocal run, every dance step, every moment. His talent was undeniable, but it was his perfectionism that set him apart. Every note had to be right. Every move had to be sharp. Nothing was left to chance. And as the first African-American teen idol, he didn't just break into the mainstream. He kicked the door wide open. But here's the thing, this was still just the beginning. Michael hadn't even scratched the surface of what he was capable of. Even before Off the Wall, even before the world would call him the King of Pop, he was already making history. Can you imagine? What drives a child to outwork even the most experienced performers in the industry? And more importantly, what happens when that child grows up? As Michael transitioned into adulthood, many wondered, could he step out of the Jackson 5's shadow? Could he stand on his own without the family name backing him? The answer would come loud and clear with the release of Off the Wall in 1979. And it didn't just meet expectations, it obliterated them. Off the Wall was more than just an album. It was a statement, a bold, fearless, and sophisticated evolution of sound that redefined pop, R&B, and disco all at once. Michael wasn't just experimenting, he was shaping the future of popular music. With hits like Don't Stop, Till You Get Enough and Rock With You, Michael showcased not only his vocal brilliance but also a new level of maturity, style, and artistry. The album went on to sell over 20 million copies worldwide, a staggering feat at the time, especially for a young black solo artist. For the first time, people saw Michael Jackson not as the lead singer of the Jackson 5, but as a powerhouse all on his own. And when he won his first Grammy for Don't Stop, Till You Get Enough, it wasn't just a trophy, it was a warning shot to the music industry. The kid from Gary, Indiana, had grown up, and he was just getting started. Do you remember how fresh and vibrant those songs felt? Even today, when you hear Rock With You, doesn't it feel like it could have been released just yesterday? That timeless sound was no accident. Michael was obsessed with creating music that wouldn't just top charts but would stand the test of time. And here's where it gets interesting, this wasn't even the peak. Off the Wall was merely the warm-up. The music world knew he was special, but no one, not even Michael himself, could have predicted what was about to happen next. If Off the Wall turned heads, Thriller blew the roof off. When Michael released Thriller in 1982, no one, and I mean no one, could have imagined the storm that was about to hit the music world. This wasn't just an album. It was a cultural earthquake. Thriller would go on to become the best-selling album of all time, and to this day, no artist has come close to knocking it off the throne. Over 70 million copies sold, and counting. Every single song felt like an anthem. From the funk-driven energy of Wanna Be Startin' Somethin' to the haunting brilliance of Thriller itself, Michael crafted a body of work that wasn't just good, it was iconic. But it wasn't just about the numbers. Michael revolutionized how music was seen, not just how it was heard. Think about it, music videos before Thriller? They were simple, low-budget, often forgettable. Michael changed all of that. Beat It, Billie Jean, and of course, Thriller weren't just videos. They were short films. Cinematic. Groundbreaking. He treated each one like an event, with choreography, storytelling, and visuals that left people speechless. Who could forget the first time they saw the Thriller video? The red jacket, the werewolves, the legendary dance sequence. Even now, it's hard to top. Did you ever try learning the moves? Be honest, most of us did. And then, there was that historic night in 1984. The Grammys. Michael walked away with 8 awards, in a single night. A record at the time. Watching him take the stage over and over again wasn't just inspiring, it was jaw-dropping. The world wasn't just watching, it was witnessing history in real time. But perhaps one of his most profound impacts came not from a song or an award, but from a television screen. Before Michael, MTV was hesitant to feature black artists. But after Billie Jean, they had no choice. His artistry was too undeniable. He smashed the racial barriers that stood between black musicians and mainstream music television. And then, as if he hadn't already shocked the world enough, came the Motown 25. Yesterday, Today, Forever special. Under the spotlight, Michael glided backward across the stage for the first time, the birth of the moonwalk. Audiences froze. Was that real? Was it a trick? It wasn't. It was pure magic. In that moment, Michael Jackson wasn't just famous, he became a phenomenon. Suddenly, this wasn't just about music. It was about fashion, dance, pop culture, and global identity. Michael didn't just top the charts, he owned them. And yet, somehow, he was still far from finished. After Thriller, most artists would have settled, but Michael Jackson was just getting warmed up. What came next was a series of world tours that would not only break records but redefine what a concert could be. The Bad World Tour, his first solo global tour, set the tone. Michael sold out stadiums everywhere he went. Every ticket was like gold, and fans would camp outside venues for days just to catch a glimpse of him. And when the lights dimmed and that first beat dropped, it wasn't just a concert, it was a spectacle. But he didn't stop there. The Dangerous and History tours pushed the limits even further. Each show became larger, more elaborate, more mesmerizing. Pyrotechnics lit up the skies. Stages transformed before your eyes. The choreography was razor-sharp, every step synchronized to perfection. Michael wasn't just performing, he was creating an experience audiences would never forget. Can you picture it? Thousands of people, standing shoulder to shoulder, singing every word, many of them in tears, overwhelmed by the sheer presence of this man. Have you ever seen old footage of fans fainting at his concerts? That wasn't hype, that was genuine, raw emotion. In Mexico City, he performed for over 125,000 people in a single night. That's more than the population of some towns gathered in one stadium, all for him. These weren't just concerts, they were historic events. Michael also did what many never thought possible. He became the first Western artist to tour Eastern Europe after the fall of the Berlin Wall. In places where Western music had once been banned, people packed stadiums to see the king of pop. His music, his message, and his artistry transcended politics, culture, and language. He became more than a performer, he was a bridge between worlds. But there was another side to this global domination. Behind the flashing lights and deafening cheers, Michael was quietly becoming a global humanitarian. Everywhere he went, he visited hospitals, orphanages, and charities, often away from the cameras. His influence wasn't just measured in ticket sales or chart-topping hits, it was in the lives he touched. How many artists can you think of who ruled the world stage while also making such a profound humanitarian impact? And still, somehow, Michael Jackson wasn't done making history. By this point, Michael Jackson wasn't just a superstar, he was operating on a level the world had never seen before. His list of accolades grew so long, it began to feel like there wasn't a record left for him to break. The Guinness World Records didn't just recognize him once, they practically had a whole section dedicated to him. He was officially crowned the most successful entertainer of all time. Just think about that for a second. Out of every performer, artist, or celebrity who ever stepped on a stage, Michael stood at the very top. He also held the record for the most awards ever won by an artist, from Grammys to American Music Awards, World Music Awards, and countless others from around the globe. It wasn't just that he was winning, it was the sheer volume and consistency. Michael wasn't just having a good year or two, he dominated for decades. And when it came to touring, yet another record. His tours became the highest grossing of their time. Fans didn't just want to hear his music, they wanted to experience it. Stadiums weren't big enough. Entire cities would light up whenever he arrived. But Michael's legacy wasn't just about sales and spectacle. He also held the record for most charities supported by a pop star. While others chased fame, Michael constantly gave back, supporting over 39 charities, many of them personally, without fanfare. How often do we overlook this side of him? How many of us knew the quiet, giving Michael, working behind the scenes? The music industry itself paid tribute to his contributions. MTV renamed its most prestigious honor, the Video Vanguard Award, to the Michael Jackson Video Vanguard Award, cementing his influence on the very DNA of music video culture. He also received the Grammy Legend Award and the Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award, honors reserved for artists whose work transcends generations. And here's a statistic that still leaves fans in awe. Michael became the first artist in history to have a #1 song in 5 different decades. Can you even imagine the level of consistency and relevance it takes to pull that off? Even the business world couldn't resist the magic. His Pepsi endorsement deal shattered records, becoming the biggest brand partnership ever signed by an entertainer at the time. The commercials themselves became pop culture moments, further blurring the line between music, advertising, and spectacle. At this point, it was clear, Michael Jackson wasn't just winning awards. He was rewriting the rulebook for what an entertainer could be. And yet, there was more to him than just achievements. There was heart. There was vision. And soon, the world would see even more of it. Behind the glitz, the glamour, and the flashing lights, there was another side to Michael Jackson, one that many people forget or simply never knew. Yes, he was the king of pop. But he was also a relentless humanitarian, using his influence and wealth to bring hope where it was needed most. Over the course of his life, Michael donated an estimated $500 million to charity. Think about that, $500 million, quietly funneled into causes close to his heart. And while the headlines often focused on his fame, Michael was busy making a real difference in the lives of countless people around the world. One of his most powerful contributions came through the legendary anthem We Are the World, which he co-wrote alongside Lionel Richie. This wasn't just another song. It became a movement. The song and the initiative behind it raised millions for famine relief in Africa and became a template for how music could be a force for real-world change. Isn't it incredible how one melody, one chorus, could help feed and heal so many? Michael didn't stop there. He went on to create the Heal the World Foundation, a charity focused on children's welfare, education, and health. Through this foundation, Michael spearheaded initiatives to fight poverty, provide vaccines, and build schools. He wasn't just writing about healing the world, he was out there, actively trying to. He visited hospitals around the globe, sometimes unannounced, sitting by children's bedsides, offering not just money, but comfort. He funded children's organizations, AIDS research, and disaster relief efforts without ever seeking recognition. For Michael, Charity wasn't a PR stunt, it was part of who he was. And then there was the Neverland Ranch. To some, it was a personal playground, but to many children, it was a place of magic and escape. Michael frequently opened the gates of Neverland to sick and underprivileged children, allowing them to experience joy, wonder, and hope, even if just for a day. For those children, Neverland was more than an amusement park, it was a safe haven. Do you ever wonder how different the world might be if more celebrities used their platforms the way Michael did? Beyond the records, the awards, and the sold-out shows, this was the heart of Michael Jackson, a man who wanted to heal, to give, and to lift others up. By 2009, after decades of reigning as the king of pop, Michael was ready for one final act. The world buzzed with excitement when he announced the This Is It tour, his grand return to the stage. Tickets sold out within hours, crashing websites and leaving millions scrambling for a seat. Fans weren't just hoping for a comeback, they knew they were about to witness history one more time. The anticipation was electric. Everyone wanted to see what Michael would do next. How would he top everything he had already accomplished? What surprises did he have up his sleeve? And then, the unthinkable happened. On June 25, 2009, the world stood still. News broke that Michael Jackson had passed away. It didn't seem real. How could someone larger than life, someone who had shaped music, fashion, dance, and culture itself, be gone? Within hours, streets across the globe filled with fans. Candlelight vigils lit up cities from Los Angeles to Tokyo. People who had never met him mourned as if they had lost a family member. Because in many ways, they had. For millions, Michael was a part of their childhood, their celebrations, their inspiration. Do you remember where you were when you heard the news? For so many, that moment is burned into memory. Despite his passing, the records he set remained untouched. His music shot to the top of charts once again. Old generations revisited the magic. New generations discovered it for the first time. Thriller, Billie Jean, Man in the Mirror, they didn't just endure, they thrived. But it wasn't just about the music. His fashion, his dance, his storytelling, all of it continued to ripple through pop culture. From the countless artists who credit him as their greatest influence, to the choreographers who still teach his signature moves, to the fashion designers who still echo his style, Michael's fingerprints are everywhere. And let's not forget the heartfelt tributes. Entire stadiums sang in unison. Murals popped up across cities. Memorials were held on every continent. Fans wept, celebrated, and held each other close, united by the memory of the man who gave the world so much. Michael Jackson's story didn't end with his death, it only became more profound. His legacy? Unshakable. His influence? Unmeasurable. His place in history? Forever. And there you have it, the breathtaking journey of Michael Jackson. From a child prodigy breaking records with the Jackson 5, to the solo icon who redefined music, dance, and performance, to the humanitarian who gave as much as he received, his story is nothing short of extraordinary. Think about it, the most successful entertainer of all time, the highest-selling album in history, record-breaking tours, groundbreaking music videos, countless awards, and a heart dedicated to making the world a better place. Love him or not, you simply can't deny it. Michael Jackson changed the world forever. But now, I want to hear from you. Which of these achievements shocked you the most? Was it the 8 Grammys in one night? The Guinness World Records? His massive charity work? Or maybe the global phenomenon of the Thriller era? Let us know down in the comments. I'm genuinely curious to hear your thoughts. And hey, if you believe that Michael Jackson was truly the GOAT of pop, show some love by hitting that like button right now. It really helps more people discover this story. Don't forget to subscribe to Celebrity Times TV for more timeless stories of legendary stars, just like this one. We've got more fascinating tales of icons you won't want to miss. And one last thing, click the notification bell so you'll be the first to catch our next deep dive. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. Thank you for watching.